There we go, psycho. Let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. Let's go, beautiful people. We get this live started. Let me share the live a little bit. Hold on. Share the live. Make sure you guys share the live. What's good, beautiful people? If you in here, let me know. If I don't know who you are, introduce yourself. I do know who you are. Tap in. Snowed in today. We snowed in today. The snow is crazy right now. Crazy right now. Who we got in here? Who we got in here? Hold on. Let's share the live. Let's share the live. Live. Live going. Keep sharing the live. Oh, sorry. I didn't even introduce what I'm doing. So this is a song I just made I want to say almost a week ago. It's called Open Eyes. I believe that's what I'm going to call it. My boy Dante made the beat, Huey Beats. Big shout out to Huey Beats. His beats are immaculate. They're not of this world. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to just dive in with me as far as mixing the song. I already got a head start. I'm not gonna lie, so I apologize on my part. I should have started live streaming as soon as I got on here, but I just kind of impulsively was just like, I need to mix the song early, as early as possible, so that way I can hear it finished. But yeah, let's get right into it. So basically, what I did so far, I mixed the lead vocals. So the chorus and verses are pretty much mixed. Obviously, there's still like effects and stuff I could do to them or automation or whatever the case may be. But I basically just run through the mixing, and tighten everything as much as I can, like tighten it up. Um, If I hear any ideas in my head as far as automation or effects, then I do it. But uh, it's just all a part of my flow, though. It's all a part of my flow. So got an idea of what I'm doing right now. I'll let y'all hear it. I'll even do a before and after too. I'll just turn all the effects off and stuff so that way y'all can hear. That's what it sounds like right now. All the backups are muted, so it's just the leads. Still I find distant vibes in this, yeah, open eyes. Still gon' cry in this life. It is listen, wishing. I know you're feeling the distance. I know what that you're missing. I know what that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you're feeling the distance. I know what that you're missing.
missing, I'm the one that you missing. I can't let go no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break. It's just life, still I find distant vibes.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah. That's that. Yeah. But yeah, so basically what I did so far, I don't even believe I added a chorus effect to the actual hook or the chorus yet. All I did to the chorus, besides just mixing it up, make sure all the compression was good, the EQing and everything, like, and the presence. Uh, I just added a little bit more than average reverb than I would add. That way, it has more of that like spacey effect. Spacey effect. You heard it kind of right there. It's kind of like an after effect after the vocal hits. We mute the beat. You see how as soon as I make whatever sound or whatever I make, it's followed by like that open reverb.
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this,
I think. Hold on. Yeah, there is like a small delay to it. It's very small though. I don't even know if you hear it. Hold on, let me turn the reverb off.
in this life, still I find.
So that's just with the delays. So the delays are still giving it that echo effect, but I kind of enhanced it with a reverb that has a pretty large pre-delay.
In this life,
So it kind of blends in. It kind of blends in with the delays. It kind of sounds like it's a part of the delays, but it's separate auxiliary or bus tracks that I have over here. So it's one of these delays, and then I have two reverb auxiliary tracks here. I got two auxiliary or bus tracks, whatever you want to call it. I got two bus tracks for reverb, and then three bus tracks for delays, depending on the speed, and a bus track for chorus effect. That way, I don't have to apply it directly to the vocal, unless that's what I want. It depends on what I want to do to the vocal. Let me make sure that sound is coming through. Yeah, it's coming through. I just want to make sure. I'll probably turn the volume up just a little bit, just a little bit. Turn the volume up. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, that should be a little better. Make sure to share the live if you tune in. Live if I'm gonna see my grandparents act like they know how to use social media, so I'm gonna send them the live stream, and I'm gonna see if the views go up in here. Sharing the live. Sharing the live. Open eyes, still gon' shine. That's not even what I said. I don't know what I was talking about. Open eyes, still gon' cry. Inside in this open eyes.
in this life,
Still gon' shine.
in
Thank you for joining the live stream. Make sure to introduce yourself unless I know you. Just say what's up. Let me know you here.
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this.
All right, so yeah, so I added that reverb, that delay on there. Sounds nice and pretty. And then on the verses, I added reverb to it, but made it sound a little bit more on the drier side, just so it had more contrast. And I wanted the chorus to sound more euphoric than the verses themselves, because the verses are more upfront.
Listen, wishing, not even feeling the distance. I know one that you missing. I know
You still hear it though.
Listen, wishing, not even feeling the distance. I know one that you missing. I know one that you missing. Hold on, I can't go no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break.
And then if you see here, so technically this third track here, the yellow one, is the second verse. And then this second track, the green one, is also the second verse. But the difference is, if you see here, there's another active bus track. That's the chorus bus track that I showed you earlier, this one. So I wanted those parts of the verses to have a little bit more emphasis. So if you see here on the yellow, doesn't have the chorus effect. The green does have the chorus effect. So keep that in mind when you hear it now.
I know one that you missing. I know one that you missing. Listen, wishing, not even feeling the distance. I know one that you missing. I know one that you missing. Hold on, I can't go no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break.
And then I'll show you what it did here.
Yeah, I got up, but I gotta let you round. You say you got up, are you gon' be down? Are you gon' be down? Are you gon' be down? Merry go psycho, let's see where the night goes.
Ooh, this shit sounds good. Yeah, I be getting myself hype. I don't care. I be getting myself hype. Make my hair stand up. I like stuff like that. I love it.
Yeah, I got up, but
I don't even know if I showed y'all the second verse. Let me show you from the beginning of the hook.
it's just I still I find distant vibes. It is, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. It is yeah, I've been feeling low better now, cause I had a chance to let it out. Yeah, I'll be moving different cause I get it now. Yeah, I got love, but no, I cannot let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I gotta let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' be down? Are you gon' be down? Are you gon' be down? Merry go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice, I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life,
That's it. Oh man. Hold on, we gotta keep sharing this live. I need everybody to witness. Everybody to witness. In this life, still fine. Still gon' shine. My man's D said I gotta do a remix to what was the song called? Hold on, give me a I gotta think about it. I think about what the song is called. Halfway Thugs. Halfway Thugs. He wants me to do a remix to that. In this life, still gone.
It's just life. Still I find distant vibes in this. Yeah, open eyes. Still gon' cry in this life. In this. Yeah. I've been feeling more better now. Cause I had a chance to let it out. Yeah, I'll be moving different cause I got it now. So I cannot let them down. Yeah, I got love, but no, I cannot let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Baby, go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show, as long as you alright though. I've been on advice, I've been on flight mode all my life, In this life, still I find distant vibe. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this.
All right, I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like without the effects. Without the effects. Oh, what am I doing? So this is. Oh wait, hold on. So this is more or less what it sounded like before I did anything to it.
In this eyes, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this. Listen, wishing, I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you missing, I'm the one that you missing. Listen, wishing, I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one.
So that's what it sounds like with just this air EQ I got here, cutting some low end, boosting this low mid a little bit, cutting out a little bit of the mid high, and then adding a little bit of sibilance, a little bit of, little freshness at the end. That's just pretty much like my default though. That's like my default. It's pretty universal in my experience. I don't really touch that. But then obviously I got the Artitune artist here. I got it on 7 because obviously 7 to go. Indigo, command. But I put the humanize up to 50 because I was pretty much hitting a lot of those notes naturally. So I just have the auto-tune to pitch correct it and make it sound even better. Because in my opinion, it obviously really does sound better. Sounds way fresher. And then I got my other go-to virtual mix rack. It's pretty much what my virtual mix rack always looks like. I got, set some like a virtual drive saturation on there. I got some noise cancellation going on. Past like a certain decibel. Microphone emulator and 2 compressors. Pretty much my go-to right there. You guys gonna see that a lot when you see me mixing. And then I follow it up with another banger, CLA 2A. Make sure I get that gain right on there, because it's an upward compressor. Um, it adds a lot of gain, so you have to really control that. And the way that I have my setup down here with my Pro MPA two, is it the Pro MPA two and my DBX 266, I get a lot of gain from that as it is, especially since there is like a option to get the decibels even higher on there. Uh, but so yeah, I get a lot of gain through here. So because of that, I have to really compensate with these compressors, and I got to make sure everything comes right, because I do get a nice clean signal coming out of my hardware. But again, this is what mixing's for. You want to be able to take control of everything. So I use a CLA 2A to give it that boost, but I still bring it down because sometimes it's a little too much. And then I follow it up with his cousin or brother, the CLA 76. Hold on, let me make sure that didn't turn on a whole bunch of plugins. The CLA 76, same thing. I'm using the 76 for control. I'm not doing too much on it. I'm taking about, like 5 decibels each time. I might take more or less depending on how harsh or, how narrow I feel like it is. So sometimes I might only take out like a 4 decibels. Sometimes I might take out 6 if I'm pushing it a 7, because sometimes, I get some really loud vocals coming in here. And sometimes they'll be on the quieter side on some parts. So sometimes I might go through and like strategically, pick up the gains or lower the gains. But for the most part, I'm just, really using these compressors to the best of my ability. And it works, because even with just turning that on,
This life, still I find distant
that's without it. That's without it. That's with it.
in this, yeah, open eyes, still gon'
Without it.
cry in this life, in this.
Every time I turn it on, you could kind of see or hear that it's just smoothing the vocal out. You know what I mean? So when I turn it off, the vocal sounds a little bit more harsh. Whereas now with that 76, it's controlling it. So that's why I like using those back to back. I feel like those are paired well. Obviously, I mean, they're from the same company. Then I follow it up with, a classic. To me, this is a classic because a lot of people will sleep on that. Hold on, I gotta turn off a lot of these plugins because I didn't mix these yet. This is a classic because it's just one. To me, it's just one. It's just one dial. It's just one dial. It's just one knob. You know what I mean? Like, and then you get that extra gain that you need, that you kind of had to take out with the other compressors. You know what I mean? So you use the other 2-3 compressors to balance everything out, and then you can use this to just bring it right back up with one dial, one knob.
In this life, still I find distant vibes in this.
So if I turn it off, the vocals are gonna sound quieter. Watch this. Come on. But if I turn it on, you're gonna hear the vocals right away, boost it up.
In this life, still I find distant vibes in this. Yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry in this life.
Right, so beautiful, right? Beautiful. It's bringing that vocal up, exactly what I needed to do, and then I could just move on to the next plugin, no problem. The E channel, I don't really do much to. It's pretty much, I got that on the default too. Not even gonna lie. I got this on the default. I forgot what I did exactly though.
In this life, still I find.
Oh, I believe, yeah, I was messing with the parametric EQ. So don't let the word parametric sound crazy to you. It's just the EQ. but you get to mess with each individual band or frequency range. So um you can kind of see here how this low end, uh, a lot of the time with the EQs, I'm cutting the low end out completely. But this time around, to gain a little bit of that back, in a sense, to make it sound more fuller, I brought a little tiny smidge back, and then I brought some of that mid high back. You know what I mean? So just to give it that extra punch. Nothing too crazy, just a little extra punch. That's why it's like a little default to me. You know what I mean? Because every vocal I've ever mixed needs that extra punch, regardless. So, and it's usually always at this point in time. So, um, it's a very subtle difference. So you probably not gonna notice right away.
In this life, still I find distant vibes.
This is without it.
In this life, still I find.
You could kind of see without it, it sounds a little like dead in a sense, right? Like the vocal still sounds loud and it sounds good. It just sounds a little dead. So this kind of brings that life back a little bit. This is what they're back on.
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes.
I appreciate y'all for joining. Make sure to tap in. Let me know that you're here. I pray everyone's doing amazing. We getting snowed in today, so make sure you stay warm. Make sure you stay warm. Pay attention to what's going on. You know, just be aware. I don't want anything to happen to anyone. But yeah, I pretty much followed that E channel through all the way, all the main vocals. Then I switched up to another banger, another simple banger, MV2. Cause it's bringing the vocals, it's bringing those vocals up again. You know what I mean? But it's making sure those low levels is coming up too, right? So the loud parts of your dynamics are always sound present. You know what I mean? So we need that low level to come up to compensate, so that way it sounds more balanced all the way through, and you don't hear just that high level. You know what I mean? So that's why my low level turned up on here. I had to turn the gain down because obviously when you turn the vocal up on here, the low end on here, it's gonna make the whole vocal louder in a sense, right? It's gonna make the gain louder. So you got to bring some of that that decibel count back a little bit. I always dial it back to that default -5 decibel range. You know, as long as it's around there, that's my go-to. I don't try to go below -5. I don't try to go above it. I try to just make sure that it's hitting around there. You know what I mean?
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this lesson, wishing on you feeling the distance. I am the one that you missing. I am the one that you missing. Listen.
So as soon as I turn it on, you can hear how it's just like it's making that vocal sound more crunchy, because now it's really getting to that. It's really getting in there, and it's balancing it. You know, it's doing more than a compressor, because it's getting right into those low dynamics, and it's like, all right, you told me to turn all these low parts up, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make sure it's balanced out with those high level parts of your dynamics and your vocals.
In this life, still I find.
And then if you see here on the template that I made, I have a like a FabFilter de-esser to kind of take out all that that crazy harshness, the S's and the T's or whatever the case may be that's coming through. But a little secret about me that I learned from Knox Carter, my brother Knox, and you got to keep this between me and you. I can't even keep it to your face. No, for real though, you gotta keep this between me and you, right? So most people gonna tell you to use a de-esser, and a lot of times you do gotta use that de-esser. Let me tell you something. What if I told you that sometimes you throw that de-esser on and it's killing the vocal? People who are knowledgeable are gonna be like, I already knew that. People who are not knowledgeable are gonna be like, what you mean? Let me elaborate. So when you think about cleaning up a vocal, right? A lot of the time, what they're gonna tell you, take out what you don't want first, and then add back what you do want. All right, that makes sense. Come on. But now let's further that. What if I told you that sometimes that subtractive EQ or that DS or whatever the case you're putting on is actually killing the vocal because you're not using it right, right? And even if you are using it right, maybe you're using it too much. Maybe you put too many EQs. Or maybe you went too harshly. You used that EQ too harshly or that de-esser too harshly, right? That being said, you got to put yourself in a mindset that sometimes you don't need it. I know that sounds crazy. I know it does. I know it does. It sounds crazy. But simple is more, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of us can agree on that. Simple is more. So instead of over processing your vocals, how about we just get straight to the point, right? Instead of worrying about all the things that you want to take out, instead of talking about all the things, instead of thinking about all the things you want to take out, just really think about what you want it to sound like. And a lot of the time, you want the vocal present, you want it warm, you know? You want very simple things. Don't overcomplicate it. And I feel that's what a lot of people do. They overcomplicate this mixing stuff, you know? Like I gotta over compress. I gotta over this. I gotta over that. Nah, just dial it back. If that was the case, I would only be using like 3 compressors. I'm probably using like 5, maybe 6. Why? Because I'm not gonna put one strain on one plugin. You do that throughout the process. Throughout the process, you fix things little by little. You're not gonna get one plugin on here, and it's there's amazing plugins out there. You might find a plugin that might be an all-in-one, right? It's still gonna be missing something, right? It's still gonna be missing something. So you just gotta really analyze. Do I need this plugin, or can I use something else, or can I just stray away? Do I need it at all? You gotta really ask yourself these questions. Just because a certain plugin came in your template or you watched a certain video that said, hey, you got to do it this way, experiment, try it out. I've heard a lot of things from different engineers, different videos, different research that I've done throughout the years, searching things up. And because I'm not old by any means. I'm only 24, but when I was researching this stuff, there was no ChatGPT, there was none of that. You know what I mean? So now you have even more access to knowledge to be able to further yourself within this mixing stuff. And nowadays, there's a lot of music being made, and I think where people get it twisted right now is they think because it's easily accessible to create music now that they think you should have to keep making music fast. And I get it. In the industry where there's so much music, you believe like, yeah, I have to drop a lot. I have to drop fast so that way I could drop more than the next person, which it depends on what your goal is too. You got to keep that in mind. It depends on what your goal is. Do you actually want to drop more than the next person, or do you want to drop more meaningful music? Do you want to drop more music that you took your time on, man? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't really ask themselves these questions when it comes to making the music. So I tell my peoples all the time, just because you can mix a song fast or you can make a song fast doesn't mean you should always make music fast. Because there's a lot of music that we listen to that took weeks, months, years to make. You know what I mean? So I believe if you're really trying to be an artist, take your time. Don't let the social media is really good at painting this image that there's like a lot going on at all times. You know what I mean? And obviously there is a lot going on, but don't let that overwhelm you because if social media wasn't a thing, you would just be locking in the studio. You know what I mean? So don't let social media rule you, and don't let the industry rule you either, because there's a stigma with that too. Like a lot of artists will hear artists that they like, and it's all right to be inspired by artists. That's how artistry works. But then you start getting beats that sound like their beats, and you know what I mean. So now, like, you're not really stepping outside of the box. You're not really showing how you're different from anyone. You're just stepping into a lane that was already created. So I know I'm getting sidetracked, but I just love putting people on game. But but yeah, so make sure you just really think about what you want out of this. If you want to be your own artist, or if you're okay with sounding like another artist because you just like that lane, like, and you're okay with that, you know, you could be okay with anything. You know, a lot of people might not be okay with it, but it doesn't really matter because it's about your artistry. So if you're like, oh no, I just want to do this for fun, or oh, I want to actually be like a great artist that's remembered, or I want to, it just you whatever you're aiming towards, you got to really work towards it. You can't just think about it and wish it and manifest it. Manifestation only comes with intent, like with true intention and true work ethic. You know, energy is constantly moving. You have to be constantly moving too. And that's how manifestation works. Manifestation is not a wish. It's not a wish. That's a stigma too. It's not a wish. Manifestation is a process. Manifestation is work ethic. You have to work towards what you're manifesting in order for that energy to manifest towards you. Um, but that saying all that to sum that all up, that's coming right back to the simplest point I was trying to make about this de-esser. You don't gotta be like everybody. Just because everybody told you to use that de-esser or use that EQ don't mean you have to use that de-esser and that EQ. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Knox opened my mind up with that, as far as, because I remember I was hearing a song that he had mastered, and it sounded amazing. It sounded fire. Because I really look up to Knox as far as like engineering and production wise. He's amazing. So I'm listening to it and I'm like, wow. At this point in time, I'm like, wow, like I can't mix like that. Well, like I know I can learn how to, right? Like I was at this point in time, I was getting close to where I'm at now. And even now I'm still learning, but I was getting close to where I'm at now. But when I was hearing it, I'm just like, wow, like everything that I want in a mix, his mixes have it. And I'm listening to this mix like, fuck. Excuse my French, but I'm like, fuck. And he's showing me, I'm looking at the plugins. He's showing me the plugins he's using. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember if he's like, and like I didn't even use a de-esser on this. Or if I asked him like, oh, like, where's the de-esser? I forget. I'm pretty sure he told me actually like, oh, like, I don't even have a de-esser on this. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Because at this point in time, I thought you always needed a de-esser. Like if you heard any sense of harshness, like you got to use the de-esser. He was like, nah, man. He's like, throughout all the EQs in my compression, like it doesn't need it. It's fixed. Like I fixed it throughout my process, and I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, man. Like he's like, there's certain plugins. He's like, you got to think. There's certain plugins that can accomplish the same thing that other plugins that were like. For example, let me not overcomplicate this because I feel like I'm about to overcomplicate it. A compressor compresses the vocal, gets the lows and the highs, and it evens itself out. But what did I say about the MV2? It has two knobs, the low level and the high level. So you can turn those individual knobs up and down, and it'll accomplish the same thing. Not in the same way, but it still accomplishes the same thing. So that kind of just opened my mind, like, wow, he's right. Like if I'm going into the EQ and I know how to dip out a certain frequency, I don't even have to use the de-esser. I don't even have to, right? Because it also depends on how the vocal was recorded. So if I'm a because it depends on your vocals and how you pronunciate words, your enunciation. Like everybody's different, right? So I I've always been really hard on myself growing up about like learning how to read on point. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. Maybe I just felt like pressure from like my family. I don't know if it's my family or if I put pressure on myself because I wanted to make them proud. Like, look, I know how to fucking read and write good. You know what I mean? Like, um, obviously as a kid, but because of that, I was really good at writing stories, like actual stories and poems, and I was good at reading them. Right, so that's why I'm like people say that I hate when people say this, but they say, "Oh, like you talk white," or whatever the case may be. In a sense, that's just people just trying to say that you're talking in a more literate form, which I don't like that stigma, right? Because I feel everyone should have access to the knowledge and have the intention to learn how to be literate and how to be like intentionally and intelligent. You know what I mean? You don't have to be overly intelligent, but enough to be able to formulate a certain vernacular. You know what I mean? So that being said, that kind of helped elevate the way that I record, right? So when I record, because I was able to write stories or write poems and read them out loud and have like a good voice for that, it was easy. It was a little easier to record because all of this stuff is like a different learning curve. Like writing a song takes its own fucking set of time to learn. Learning how to record a song takes its own set of time to learn. Like all of this stuff doesn't come like overnight. You know what I mean? Even if it does come naturally to you, it does not come overnight because it's a constant learning process, and you have to kind of intertwine the learning processes, right? So like obviously, in order to record, you need to know how to like write a song, and if not, you need to know how to get a song that's already written and how to sing it with like a certain cadence and certain form and flows and deliveries, right? So like all of that is a learning process. Like if you're good at singing, you might not be good at songwriting sometimes. It just depends on the artist. It depends on which, like I said, falls back into the conversation I'm already having prior. It just depends on what kind of artist that you're trying to be. But I believe everyone should try to just be the best at what they do. That's what I believe. I believe that if you're gonna do something, be the best at it. Right? Like, why would I get into something to be like someone else who's already doing that thing? If I'm blessed with this ability or this perception or this vision, then I should carry out that vision to the best of my ability without letting outside forces alter that perception, right? Because you have an image, right? So no matter how much you explain your image to people or write it down or whatever the case that may be, that it's never gonna be exactly the same, right? They're gonna only imagine what you're saying through their perception. So it's always a perception thing. It's a perception game. Not that it's a game, but that's I call it a game because it makes it more fun. Like I feel like people take life too seriously. Life is serious. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a lot of serious things about life, but like that's the problem. I think like life is too serious, so why take it even more serious than what it is, right? Like, and I'm human, right? Like I'm not saying that like I'm always happy. I have my moments. I have a lot of those moments actually, but I'm way better than what I used to be. So I know I'm making progress, and that's all that matters, right? So I hope and pray the same for everyone else that we're just making progress and we're working towards that. So yeah, dialing back, that's how I'm able to record the way that I am. So I don't really deal with those problems necessarily with those crazy harsh S's and T's because I don't have like an impediment problem. I don't stutter. I don't have, and I'm blessed. I'm not saying that in like a mocking way or anything like that. I'm just literally saying that in the simplest way that I don't have any issues when it comes to recording in that sense. But it came with like me being hard on myself, right? Like I didn't just start off like that. So I'm saying the process, right? So because I was able to write good stories and poems, when it finally came down to writing music, it kind of came a little bit more naturally. Mind you, I was terrible at writing music. I was good at writing stories and poems, excuse me. I was terrible at writing music. If you look at my old SoundClouds, which I know eventually people are gonna find them, it's terrible. That's the only way I can say it's terrible. But it's terrible in a good way, right? It's terrible in a way that it shows the process. Like even though I was good at writing poetry and writing stories, I was fucking god awful at writing music. But throughout time, I was able to understand the difference between the poem, the story, and the lyric. I started to learn how they coincide with one another, but it was tough. It was tough because you're not just speaking. What up, Swavy? You're not just speaking words anymore, right? Every word has to have a certain meaning, and then you got to have a certain cadence to that meaning now. So now it's like the poetry in a sense that you have the stanzas, you have the it's you have that structure, and you got to have certain cadences. But then it's like a story because I have to make I have to make it meaningful and make it make sense, right? So when I started as trying to be a rapper. Obviously, I come from a city where a lot of we all love rap or Spanish music, so I wanted to be a rapper, not a Spanish artist. I know how to make Spanish music, but that wasn't my goal. Um, but when you learn how to rap, everybody feels or believes that as long as you rhyming, you rapping. I believe that. I believe that if I was rhyming and I was trying to catch the flow of a beat, I was rapping. But I wasn't. I wasn't because I wasn't saying anything. I wasn't saying anything. I was worried about I was worried about my flow and my rhyme words. So in my head, as long as caught some type of flow and my words rhymed, I was rapping. I genuinely thought that's what it was, and I know that that's what a lot of people in this world think that's what it is, but it really is not that. It really is not that. I was taught that rap is an acronym, rhythm and poetry. That's what I was taught. I was taught that rap is an acronym for rhythm and poetry. That being said, when you put it in that mindset, it kind of dials you back from the rap music that you hear your whole life, right? Because then you start to realize what artists really do that and what artists really don't do that, right? So now it gives you a different. Not only does it give you a different appreciation for that craft, for that art, for that culture, but it gives you a new level of understanding and it gives you a new perception of how you can come about it as an artist, right? So that's when I really started growing. When I was for months trying to freaking come up with like remixes to beats that I thought people wanted to hear. Like I felt like I wasn't really doing it for me. I feel like that's the problem. I feel like a lot of artists do things for other people and they don't do it for themselves. And it took me years to realize that I needed to do it for myself, regardless of what people thought or how they felt. Because I drove myself in a spiral of like depression and wanting to quit all the time because I always wondered why I didn't feel fulfilled as an artist. And it's not because I didn't have the fans. It's not because I didn't have the streams. It's because my music didn't sound how I wanted it to sound. That's what it really, really came down to. I thought it was because people weren't following me or people weren't streaming me, but it's just because I wasn't in myself. Facts, excellent acronym. But but yeah, I just felt like I wasn't being true to myself, and I know it sounds cliche to say stay true to yourself, but I understand why a simplistic saying like that is so predominant and it's so important. You really do have to stay true to yourself, and that's not just when you walk outside and you're, you know, communicating with people and networking with people. It means that no matter what you do, you have to stay true to yourself. No matter what you do, right? So You're not just gonna stay true to yourself in that business meeting or the family gathering. You're gonna stay true to yourself even behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? And whatever craft that you follow, and whatever career path that you follow, whatever mindset that you give yourself or perspective that you have on life, you got to really stand on it. And you have to make sure it's a beautiful mindset. You have to make sure it's a beautiful mindset. That's the only way that you'll be able to not only conquer life, but be able to enjoy it. Because there is a difference between existing and living, and that's very important for people to know. You know, I could have easily quit years ago and followed another career path that probably made me money, like a lot of money, because streams don't make you shit, right? If we're being honest, streams don't make you shit. So in reality, I could have been quit because I don't gain in the eyes of a person that works day to day. I mean, I work day to day, but in the eyes of a person who doesn't have uh ho- a love for something besides like family or whatever the case may be, a love for something that they truly love to do or something that they love to experience. It's hard for them to relate to this kind of conversation because they feel as if I'm not able to live off of something, I'm not benefiting off of it, which is simply not the case, right? Because if that were the case, then a lot of things in your life shouldn't be in your life. There could be a lot of things in your life that don't necessarily straightforwardly upfront benefit you. You know what I'm saying? It really, again, it falls down on perception. It's your perception on what you feel or what you believe makes you feel fulfilled or makes you feel benefited, right? So if people constantly look at money as a way of, do you benefit me or not, then again, it would be a very lonely life. So you got to look at, do I benefit from this person through love? You know, not romanticism, not lust, but actual love. Like, I care for this person. Do I benefit from them through love? Do I benefit through them because our career paths align so we can learn off of each other or help each other? Do I benefit off of them because, I don't know, they're just a good person, they're helpful, and I love to be helpful too, so we could benefit off each other. So to me, benefiting off of one another is more than just a money thing. Benefiting off of one another is us just simply being human and being able to utilize each other's gifts. And when you look at it like that, it's a more beautiful outlook, right? Because again, it's if I look at it black and white, dull, gray, everything gray, like, oh, I don't benefit off of anyone because they don't help me financially or they don't help me, I don't know, move the stuff in my house. I don't know. But you're benefiting off of a lot of people because of simply just interaction. You know, the fact that they're interacting with you. You know, humans are the most social creatures on planet Earth, so we constantly need interaction. As much as we say we don't like to interact, like for a long time, I said I was an introvert, but in reality, it's because I had like just like a crazy social anxiety. But now, when I push myself to do things like spontaneous things, speak to strangers and stuff like that, it it kind of gets rid of that whole mindset. Like it negates that whole mindset that I was that I had, you know, that problem. I'm like, wow, I'm not an introvert. I'm making myself overthink about interacting with people. You know what I'm saying? And it's you know, it's an internal thing. It's an internal thing. There's a lot of things that you can ask yourself on a daily basis, like, what can I do better about that? And I just noticed that spontaneous interaction was something that I need to start doing. You know, always tell a stranger good morning. When you ask somebody how they're doing, even though you don't know them, make sure you mean it. Don't just ask them how they're doing and then walk away. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that I look at different now, and it makes life more beautiful. And I feel like the reason why I didn't look at life as beautiful just a few years ago is because of that great mindset that I gave myself. Like, who who am I truly benefiting off of? Who's truly there for me when I feel like I'm truly there for everyone else? And again, with the music, like when I feel like I have no sense of direction or it's not going anywhere, that's very non-motivating. So it's many things. It's many things. There's a lot of reasons in life to stop, but there's even more reason. There's more reasons to keep going, and that's what I noticed. And when you're like in the fire or you're in the darkness, it's hard to imagine what that looks like. So it's easy to perceive it like it will never be, but that simply is not the case. That simply is not the case because I've realized that if life wasn't supposed to work out for me, I wouldn't be on planet Earth. I wouldn't be here. My energy would be somewhere else. I'm here and you're here for a reason, right? And that's why your energy is here, right? Because even science approved that energy cannot be destroyed. It just disperses, it moves, it changes, even it changes form, whatever it does, it keeps moving. So I believe that's why humans are the way that they are. We keep moving because energy will never stop moving, and that's why we can never stop moving. So the moment you stop moving, that's when you feel more depressed and you feel more out of it. You don't feel like yourself. We can't stop moving. Go if you haven't went on a hike for a while, go on that hike. If you haven't used to draw, you don't draw anymore. Pull out that sketchbook, start drawing. If you used to be a painter, go paint. If you used to make music, go record a song, go write a song. If you used to skateboard, try to ride the skateboard. And if your leg is messed up, then ride a scooter. Like, just go do something. Keep moving. Keep moving. And it's like, I know it's easy to say, like, as you get older, like, oh, I'm tired, my body's tired. But when you keep your body moving, your mind won't feel that way as much. You know what I mean? When you treat your body right, your mind will follow. Your mind will follow. But if you do the opposite, your mind will also follow. So it depends on where you want to take your mind. That's how dark or light it will be. And that's what I noticed. That's what I noticed. You know, it's all about what direction you're facing and what you decide to keep focusing on, right? Because I could keep focusing on the negatives. Anyone can. It's easy to focus on the negatives. It's easy to get overwhelmed by negatives, actually, too. Like, that's just how your mind works. But focusing on the positive, even if it takes a little bit more effort, it just makes life feel more beautiful. It makes you feel more amazing about yourself. It makes everything feel more worth it. So why not take that extra little bit of step or that little bit of work to make life beautiful? And if we keep doing it, it's like a it'll spread. It's viral. It'll spread. You keep spreading positivity, and people gonna want to spread it too. But if I keep ignoring strangers and ignoring the homeless, ignoring the hungry, ignoring people that feel unseen and feel unheard, I'm no better than you know a man that truly hates people. Even though I love people, how can I say I love people and I don't show people that I love them? Right? So that's what it's about to me. That's what it's about to me. Everyone can have their opinion on how they feel, but to me, when people love each other, not only does life feel more amazing, but it becomes more amazing because we make it amazing. So to me, it's just common sense to be like, okay, well, if the world's in a hurt place right now, we need to keep loving each other instead of spewing more hate and spewing like more divisive ideas or more like different topics that we can argue about. Because I feel like if every time we bring up different topics, it's just something else we can argue about. How about we just be like, how's your family? I hope they're doing well. You guys need anything? No? Oh, you want to offer me something? That's awesome. Thank you. I actually do need that. That's beautiful. And if we were like that all the time, the world would be more awesome. But people are not thinking about being awesome. People are thinking about like just like survival. And I get it because this world, when you look at this world and all the ugly things that happen, it feels like you got to survive. But every time you get into that Uber driver's car, you put faith in the fact that they're gonna get you to your destination. Every time you get on the plane, you have faith that your pilot is gonna get you to where they need to get you. So if you have faith that every time you step into those vehicles or onto those, planes, that you're still gonna make it to your destination, how is life any different? Love you too, brother. Thank you. But that's to me, that's what faith is for sure. You know, I feel like people say faith is like trying to believe, but there is no trying in faith. There's no trying. You can only just have it. You just have it. There's no trying. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Trying is like still leaving room for doubt. Like if I say, "Oh, I'm trying to go to the gym," I'm still leaving room for doubt because if I am going to go, I will say absolutely with absoluteness, I am going to the gym at this time today. I am going to record a song at this time today. I am going to release a song at this time today. I am going to go shoot a video. So there is when you look at all these like words that we use, it kind of like it's like a pillow. It's like a cushion. When you say trying, it makes it sound good. It's a cushion. There's no such thing as trying. There's only doing. And when you look at life with a little bit more of that absoluteness as far as doing, like getting things done, that's another beautiful mindset because now you're seeing progress. It's progress. Every time you do something, it's progress. Every time you take that step, it's progress. Now there is no such thing as standing still because everything that you say you're going to do, you are going to do it. You're going to be a person of your word. And that's more important than whatever money you have in your bank account and whatever you're telling yourself on a daily basis. It's more important than all of that. I don't even know how long I've been live. How long have I been live? An hour. Awesome. All right, so let me get back into this. So I got the lead vocals good. Let's see what these backup vocals are looking like.
In this life, still I find distant vibes.
So this is one of my main dubs here, my main backups.
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this. Listen.
So it's a very simple backup, very simple, but it's effective when you hear it with the lead.
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, holding on, I'm holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for open eyes. Still gon' cry in this life. In this, holding on, I'm holding on, I can't let go, no way. Holding on, I'm holding on, I can't let go, no way.
So as you can see here, I got this virtual channel busting. I usually have this busting around like 1. It's never gonna hit that red, and if it is, you gotta fix it. And then this FG 401, this one I usually hit about 5, unless it's harsh. I might do like a 7, like a 6 or a 7.
Holding on, I'm holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break. Holding on, I'm holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for.
And see, when I do my dubs, I don't see a lot of people are used to like a certain format, right? So when they get in the studio, they're like record their verse or their hook, whatever, and then like I want to do dubs and ad libs. I want to do dubs and ad libs. So I feel like people need to get out of that mindset. You could crucify me if you want. A lot of people could disagree with me, but I feel like people gotta get out of that mindset. I feel before you say or even think about doing dubs and ad libs, you gotta hear it first. You gotta hear those main vocals and you gotta listen to it. Really listen and feel it and be like, what does this need? And then can you come up with an idea right there? Come up with a harmony, come up with a cadence, come up with something before you get on there and just start doing some random shit. That's what people do. Random shit. It's not calculated, right? So don't get me wrong. If you're freestyling, again, different story. That's a different story. Freestyling, go freestyle, go crazy. It really has no structure. You are the structure. That's cool. But if you are creating a song, that is a different conversation. We are creating a song. So when you're creating a song, you take a little bit more time. Just because you're used to making songs fast don't mean you always have to make them fast. I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to myself right now. Because I used to do the same thing. I'm like, oh, I can record 10 songs in one day. But it's like, all right, well, how long are all them songs going to sit? Right? How long are they going to sit? Are they ever going to get mixed? Am I ever going to release them? That's what it really falls down to. So everything has to be with intention. If you're going to make a song, make sure you're like, I love this song. I can't wait to release the song. If you don't feel like I love the song, I can't wait to release the song, then why are you making the song? Throwaways. Who needs throwaways? Are you going to post throwaways? Because if you're going to post throwaways, now that's a different conversation. Then you could make mixtapes. You could do, you know what I mean, free SoundCloud drop. You know, it depends on what you're trying to do. But don't make nothing for nothing. Don't make nothing for nothing. Don't waste your time, right? Because your time is valuable as an artist too. So you got to treat your time with respect. Treat your craft with respect. Just because you could do it fast don't mean you got to do it fast, right? Take your time with your music. That's beautiful, bro. God bless you, bro. I'm happy. I'm happy it's making you feel that way. I'm real passionate about what I do, bro. I try not to be overly passionate because I know that's not a good thing, but I am very passionate though. I'm confident. I'm confident in my word. I'm confident in my knowledge. I'm confident in my relationship with God, and I'm confident in what my life will be moving forward, regardless of the circumstances or how it may look right now. Use the RVox to bring that vocal up.
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this,
And I usually add a saturation just so it differentiates itself from the lead vocals.
in this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, open eyes, still go cry. In this life, in this, listen, wish. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, open eyes, still go cry. In this life, in this, listen. Holding on, I'm holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break.
And I added a spread plugin on there just to spread those dubs out that way. Because I don't have the dubs panned right now. I kind of wanted them to sound full. But obviously I don't want them to conflict with the lead vocals. So that was important, right? So that's why, for one, the chain looks nothing the same. It's more on the lightly compressed side. I did it a little bit more harshly though on the compressor that I do have on there. Then you just add some saturation and some gain, spread it, and no deal, yang.
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this, listen, wishing, not even feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing, I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing, not even feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing, I'm the one that you're missing. Holding on, I'm holding on, I can't let go. to catch a break. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, yeah, I've been feeling a little better now, cause I had a chance to let it out. Yeah, I'll be moving different cause I get it now. I cannot let him down. Yeah, I got love, but no, I cannot let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice, I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life, yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice, I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life, still I find this. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho, let's. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho, let's see where the.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that back up there. Are you hold me down? Are you hold me down?
Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round.
Are you hold me down?
You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down?
Are you hold me down?
Are you gon' hold me down?
Are you hold me down?
Are you gon' hold me down?
Are you hold me down?
Psycho,
Let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as I'm alright though, I don't need advice. I've been on flight mode all my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho.
Let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as I'm alright
Yeah, I
though.
got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho. Let's see where. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Hold me down. Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho. Yeah, I got let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho, let's see where the night let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho, let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho, let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? Merry go psycho,
Let's see where the night go.
let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' hold me down? Are you gon' hold me down? let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice. I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this. Let you round, yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' be down? Are you gon' be down? Are you gon' be down? Maybe go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice. I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this. Let you round, yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gon' be down? Are you gon' be down? Are you gon' be down? Maybe go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice. I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this. What that you missing? Holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break. Holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open.
That's it's my favorite harmony right here. Ready?
In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this. Listen, wishing, I ain't feeling the distance. I ain't the one that you eyes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this. Listen, wishing, I ain't feeling the distance. Listen, wishing, I ain't feeling the distance. I ain't the one that you missing. I ain't the one that you missing. Listen, wishing, I ain't feeling the distance. I ain't the one that you missing. I ain't the one that you missing. Holding on, I can't let go, no way. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this. Listen, wishing, I ain't feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break.
Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. I think it sounds fire. Baby, you're the one I desire. And on fire. Got my heart on fire. What song is that? I don't know. I started making it right now. And Aviana said it sounds like I'm singing a Christmas song from downstairs. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry in this life. In this, listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. Yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry in this life. In this, listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break. In this life, still I find in this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this, listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, yeah, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this, listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Listen, wishing. I know you feeling the distance. I'm the one that you're missing. I'm the one that you're missing. Holding on, I can't let go, no I've been feeling a little better now, cause I had a chance to let it out. Yeah, I'll be moving different cause I get it now. I cannot let him down. Yeah, I got love, but no, I cannot let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Baby, go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice, I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life, I got love, but no, I cannot let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Baby, go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice, I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, holding on, I can't let go, no way. I'm searching for, I'm hoping for a way to catch a break. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, yeah, I've been feeling a little better now, cause I had a chance to let it out. Yeah, I'll be moving different cause I get it now. So no, I cannot let him down. Yeah, I got love, but no, I cannot let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Baby, go psycho, let's see. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Baby, go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? I know I cannot let you round. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Baby, go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice, I've been on flight mode all my life. Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be?
Sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah, I got love, but I can't let you round. You say you got love, are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Are you gonna be down? Baby, go psycho, let's see where the night go. Welcome to my night show. As long as you alright though, I don't need advice, I've been on flight mode all my life. In this life, still I find distant vibes. In this, open eyes, still gon' cry. In this life, in this.
All right. I'm not gonna lie. It's not mastered yet, but it sounds amazing. I'm gonna keep looking over it. I'm gonna give my ears some time to rest. That way I can come back to it. But I believe this was another productive session. We had some really dope topics to talk about, and I got to show you guys some more in-depth detail about how I mix my music. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I love this. I may not get as many viewers as I I would like, but whoever's watching, you probably needed to watch this, or you probably, needed that talk. So that's why I'm here, even if it is only a handful of people. I appreciate y'all. Pray that y'all have an amazing day. Make sure to stay warm. Pay attention to the news. Stay updated. Stay aware. Be on point. Spend some time with your family. Keep being the best you that you can be every day, every single day. Like my brother Devon said, this session felt like a baptism. Amen to that. God bless all of you. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in and being yourselves.